we're here for part 2 of the video, the sauce to go with it. This is a non-traditional tomato sauce. Probably, I don't know anybody who puts that in there, but I tasted it, it tastes like lime. So I think it'll be good with the sandwich. So there are things that are not here that are normally in a tomato sauce, like dried parsley. I don't have it, so we're just gonna go with what I got. So I got onions, garlic, some spices, sun-dried tomatoes, olive oil, tagine, and tomatoes. Okay, so first thing, this bag from Costco is really big for people at home, so they probably won't use it all, and a lot of it will get rotten. So this is all I need for this sauce. And if you come over here, I just dumped all of it into a pan. We're gonna turn it on high till it gets hot. We're gonna make some lightly braised roast, oh, wrong one, this one. Confit some garlic. We're just gonna go on high until it heats up, and then I'll drop it down low. So you want to get enough oil to cover all the garlic. And then you will probably for sure see this garlic in a future video. It's okay to be a little generous with the oil because you'll end up making garlic oil too, and you can use that in a lot of things. Okay, that's enough for that. So while we're here, we're just gonna dump some oil into this pot too. We're gonna be making the tomato sauce in this one. That should be good for all that onion and stuff. Clean as you go. If you're done with something, put it away. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do is have some water over here. You can throw spices and stuff straight into oil and it'll toast, but I like the idea of rehydrating it a little so it kind of fries rather than toasts. And see how I'm not measuring anything. I know this is how much sauce there is and that's how much onion. So I'm just trying to guess how much it'll be. And it looks like maybe 1 tablespoon. So once the water hydrates in, when we throw it in the oil, it'll fry instead of doing a dry toast. So you got thyme leaves and we got celery seed. I'm gonna put less celery seed. I thought I bought fennel seed. I don't think I wanted to put fennel in here, but I do not see it. Break, phone call. So I just put about a 50% ratio. So I put a tablespoon of thyme and probably half of that of celery seed. We'll put it back up here. All right, so I think I put too much water, but it'll be fine. I'm gonna chop up some vegetables now. So if you're making a chunky tomato sauce or whatever, how you process all this stuff will be different. But I'm actually gonna be pureeing the sauce, so I don't care about it being the right size and whatever. So I'm just gonna get it to a right size. Nope, no phone call. I'm just gonna get it to a good size to cook. You could run it through a food processor or do whatever you want. And also, you'll probably cut off the stems if you were serving this to people, but we're serving this to me and my staff. And we're gonna be blending it, so you won't even notice. All right, okay, garlic smashed. Now, these are massive onions. Looks like we're doing a 4-to-1 ratio of tomato to onion. Cut off the two ends, take off any loose skins. Put that off to the side. I should probably get a bigger cutting board, but I don't have one, so we'll just use this tiny one. Okay, got that. Let's clean our board a little first. All right. Peel the onion. Now, here's a tip. If you cry a lot when you cut onions, just stop being so weak. Get used to the smell of the onion. Cry for a few days and then never again. Or you can wear a bag on your head like some people do. But just so you know, the reason onions make you cry is there's something in there, but if you use a dull knife or you mush it up, it'll release more of that thing that makes you cry. So if you have a sharp knife, it'll make you cry less. Or you just inhale a lot and you won't cry at all later. It's an investment in the future. All right, should we dice it or slice it? We'll slice. So I'm not going too thin or too thick because I don't really care about the size except for even cooking. Push that over. Finish the guy up sideways. All right. Dump all this in here. I'm gonna push the garlic to the side because the cooking time is gonna be a little different for both of them. So when you're cooking, always important to keep your ears open and stay aware of everything that's happening. I can hear the garlic just starting to bubble slightly right now, very faintly, so we still got time. I'll go over there now. You see that? Can you hear it? Bubbling very lightly in that one spot. All right. So we want it to stay at the point where it just slowly bubbles up like this, but we want it to be everywhere. So we're gonna keep it on high until it heats up. Okay, I'll just use that to hold pans. All right, we're gonna turn this one onto high just to get it to warm up a little. And then grab the spices. And the sun-dried tomatoes. We'll add these later because they're already dry. I could rehydrate them, but there's already some moisture in there. And it's packed in oil, so that'll be messy to hydrate. But maybe we'll do it anyways. So I'm going to start with the garlic, because we want this to sweat and we want the garlic to be a little brown. So we're going to start with the garlic, because once you add the onions, it'll be hard for the garlic to brown until they reach the same moisture content, because the onions are going to leach more moisture than the garlic does. So grab a towel. So since onions are wetter than garlic, if you cook this until it's brown, then you throw the onions in, the garlic won't get brown anymore since all the moisture is being released from the onions. Now if we did it the other way, put the onions in, the onions would have to be caramelized onions before you get to brown the garlic. So that's why we're doing it in this order. Okay, so this has to heat up. So this is ready, that's ready. Also the spices. After the garlic is brown, we're gonna toss this in there. There is moisture, so it's gonna pop a little, but we'll just deal with that. See? So this induction burner, the circle is right here. That's why the heating is a little uneven. But we wanna, because when we stir it, the cold oil over here is gonna even out with the rest over there. See if we can center it. Nope, it has to be like that, or else it's not flat. Okay, so you see I stirred it, most of the bubbling went away. And come back over here, you see it's starting to brown, or not brown, cook aggressively. I'm gonna turn it down to a 6. Okay, you see this piece over here, it's already starting to brown. Remember, heat up or heat down. Things are too hot or too cold. So I just turned it down. And at the end of the sauce, if it doesn't taste strongly enough of garlic or you want to add more, I'm just going to toss a couple of those extra ones in here. And you'll get some hard roasted garlic, then you get some slow confit garlic. So you see the edges of the garlic, even where it's not brown, it's starting to blister up.
Great.
All right, come check out this garlic. You see how this little piece, the smallest things are gonna cook the most. So that's already starting to be really brown, and we don't want to have any taste in this. So we're gonna dump the onions in to cool the pan down. And because I did that, I just realized I cooked things in the wrong order. I didn't throw this in there. So we're gonna do this in a separate pan after we stir the onions, because the garlic's still on the bottom. So if you come look at this pan, you see all the onions are really hard. Think about how much surface area is contacting the bottom of the pan here. Not very much. So the onions will cook a lot faster if they have a more solid contact with the bottom of the pan. So what I like to do is give it a little head start, just a little bit of water, and it's gonna start steaming. We're gonna steam it down first, and then we'll take the lid off and cook it. So lid on, and since we put water in there, it's not gonna sear or toast or do any kind of browning anymore, because it's gonna turn into, it's water on the bottom, it's boiling now. We wanna turn it up so it comes up to a boil faster, and it wilts all the onions. Okay, so we're actually gonna swap this out just to do this real fast. And we'll take some of this oil. come over here. See there's steam coming out, so we know it's already at a boil at the bottom. See all that steam? I think we'll actually add a little bit extra. You take your unicorn cup, fill it with water. It's about the same amount as I put earlier. Dump it in there. Okay, so that's about hot. And we'll just dump this in here. So, you take a look, I'm dumping it on the left side, not where the oil is, so I can cook out some of the extra moisture before it mixes into the oil. You see over here where it's mixing in, that's where it's gonna pop. So we'll just cook it down until it's a little drier on that side, then we'll mix the two sides together. All right, that's dry enough. You can smell it. You can smell it now. We'll turn it down. Okay, that's it. We'll put the garlic back on. There's enough residual heat in there to finish toasting that up. Okay, take the lid off. See how the onions are wilted now? Now you know there's perfect contact at the bottom of the pan. So you're getting full utilization of your heat. So we can leave the lid off now and we'll start cooking it down. I think we can add these in right now. Since the onions are moist and these are dry, it'll absorb some of the moisture. Actually want to put a decent amount in there, otherwise what's the point? Can't taste it, waste of money. Might as well just put more tomato sauce in there. One more scoop. Okay. Alright, keep cleaning and put this away. So, to help the onions sweat and release moisture, we're going to put salt in there. So, the tomato sauce later has no salt in it, so we can put extra here. It'll help it cook down faster because it's all getting blended anyways. So it's all going to the same place. You can always add more salt, but you can't take it out. But I know this sauce is gonna need a lot of salt. Now is about five finger pinches. We're gonna leave the salt here because we don't know if we're gonna need more later. So garlic over here, we're actually gonna turn it down. See it's starting to brown a little bit. Got too hot. We should be cooking it a lot slower. But it should be fine, as long as we keep going slow from here. So I have it at 4 right now. Back over here. turn it down slightly and go down to a 6. All right, so we want to get these two to the point that we can just leave it and not think about it. So we'll turn that one down to a 3. And then this one will go down to a 3 as well. But I'm gonna throw, actually let's throw the time in there already. I'm not gonna stir it because we'll stir it later and it doesn't need to cook on the bottom. Throw the lid on, just slightly covered. Clean as you go. Clean that pan. Alright, so this is still bubbling a little too much. We're gonna take it down to a 2. This one, 2 as well. Okay, back over here. You can go.